Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell and US President Donald Trump are at loggerheads once again. The central bank chief said Sunday that the Justice Department had opened a criminal investigation against him for allegedly misleading Congress. While the probe is ostensibly about a project to renovate the Fed's office buildings, Powell says that is just a pretext.
The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president.
The criminal investigation marks a dramatic escalation in tensions between the White House and Fed. But how did things get so bad? Trump's beef with the Fed all goes back to interest rates. He has repeatedly called on the central bank to cut rates faster, saying that would boost the economy. Trump says they should go as low as 1%, a level rarely seen outside times of crisis. He's been frustrated with the Fed's caution, dubbing its boss too late Powell, and at times threatening to fire him. The Fed was designed by Congress to be insulated from political pressure. The 7 members of its board of governors serve 14-year terms, which ensures that no president can nominate a majority. But Trump has also tried to fire another Fed governor, Lisa Cook, for allegedly filing misleading mortgage documents. Cook has denied wrongdoing and sued to keep her job. A planned renovation of 2 historic buildings in the Fed's Washington headquarters has run over budget. That's for reasons such as higher than expected costs, design changes, and unforeseen hazardous material contamination. Trump has accused Powell of mismanagement and hinted at fraud without providing evidence. Powell has rejected the charges and defended the need to remove hazardous materials. The DOJ appears to be preparing to indict Powell for lying to Congress. That's over his June testimony to the Senate Banking Committee about the renovation. George Washington University political expert Sarah Binder says it's a deeply unusual move for the Justice Department.
Well, it's certainly not normal for U.S. attorneys' offices to go after what appear to be the president's critics. In this case, Powell's not a Trump critic per se. But what's unusual here is that we know, as the president keeps saying, he wants lower interest rates from the Federal Reserve. And even though the Fed actually has recently, in several meetings, cut interest rates, that is not good enough for the president and his demands.
Trump's move has angered some Republicans. Senator Tom Tillis says he will oppose all future Fed nominees while the probe lasts. He sits on the banking committee that oversees the Fed, where Republicans hold only a slim majority. Still, the president's pressure could succeed. Powell and Cook could be forced out, giving Trump 2 new seats to fill. But for now, there's little expectation that the Fed will bow to pressure for more rate cuts when it meets at the end of this month. Analysts say a politicized Fed would have less freedom to steer the economy as it sees fit, raising the risk of higher inflation and undermining the dollar. But investors aren't panicking yet, with US stocks broadly steady this week. Markets now bet that the Fed will stand firm on rates until after Powell's term ends in May.